Oh no, I just saw a chibi post. Oshi no Ko's English dub is terrible, but don't take it too far. Oh god, I can almost guarantee it's probably some annoying people on Reddit or Twitter or maybe Thread or Threading, whatever the app is called, that's talking shit about Oshi no Ko's dub. I don't watch it because I watched all the episodes when they came out, but like regardless, let's see it. I'm
So I'm just
curious.
gonna let these clips kind of speak
We'll
for
see. We'll
itself
see.
on the dub versus
It's
sub
Twitter.
debate,
It
and if
is
the
Twitter.
Oshinoko
Of
dub
course,
is
it's
actually
Twitter.
terrible, because I feel like before I really voice
No,
my
let me move
opinion
my
on
camera.
the
Hold on,
matter,
hold on, hold on. Let me do that real quick so I'm not taking up his screen. Do it over here actually. Yeah.
and really just talk about how I feel about it and everything else kind of going on behind the scenes, I want everybody to kind of weigh in their own opinion first. So I'm going to play the English dub first. I want to kind of skip through it a little bit because I don't want to get copyrighted for obvious reasons. And then I
Right.
want to do the exact same for the Japanese dub as well. So let's play the English first, and then I'm going to go directly into the Japanese version. So I want to skip ahead a little bit here. So to the very iconic point where she changes.
I sure am sleepy. Filming's just so early, you know?
Oh yeah, I can't even lie. Dog shit. I would not watch
Oh,
this.
the camera's rolling?
So that is the
She sound like a little ass girl.
English dub. Now let's go to the Japanese one.
眠いんだよね。
Yeah, she sounds
収録
older.
早すぎてさ。
She sounds like like it's a total difference.
もうカメラ回ってる?
Yeah, the other one, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna actually rewind because the other one sound like a little ass kid
It's
to
just
me.
so early, you know? Oh,
Yeah,
and
she's
the
like a whole
camera's
Valley
rolling?
girl.
So that is the English dub. Now let's go to the Japanese one.
Yeah, then the Japanese one sound a lot better. A lot better.
Now with those two clips out of the way, tell me your honest thoughts on how you
The sub. I mean, like, I won't say it's bad, but like the sub, the sub.
felt about just the dub v sub. Like, do you think the dub is terrible? Do you think it's actually good?
I'm not
Do
even
you
gonna lie,
think-
the dub is kind of terrible. At least for like the scene, it was such a big scene. I had goosebumps and everything. And that one she sound like a little pick me girl.
The Japanese dub? Do you prefer the English dub? Be honest in the comments below. I am legitimately curious to see what you guys think before I kind of weigh in my opinion. So let's talk about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat my words. I am not going to try to hold back on how I feel about it. I want to be honest. I think the dub is pretty terrible. Now, obviously, this could be a little bit of bias here because, I mean, I did watch the Japanese dub first.
Right.
And obviously, when you start with
Oh wow! I guess if you watch anime in sub, it's dubbed for them. I didn't know that, huh?
something first, watching a different version of it is just going to sound weird. That, at the end of the day, that is a big part of it. Like, for instance, it's like, watching Dragon Ball in Japanese. Like,
The Japanese one makes Goku sound like a little ass girl screeching when he goes to like his Super Saiyan power up.
I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, and all that in English.
Yep.
And when I first watched it in Japanese
Yeah, I was like, what in the hell? What is this?
with Super, it was a very weird time. It was very weird and very hard getting into just the VAs. I mean, they were good. It's very hard trying to hear something different to what I'm used to. So it definitely is jarring. And so obviously there is a level of bias I have personally when it comes to hearing the dub because I am used to the Japanese. However, I will still say that in terms
Yeah, like for the type anime that Ochi no Ko is, them picking whoever, not I won't say whoever voiced, because maybe that actor was just put in a bad spot. But this line was too good to be played like that. Nah.
of critique,
Nah.
it is a pretty bad dub because there has been
Yeah.
cases to where I've enjoyed the dub and sub of many different anime.
Yeah,
Fullmetal Alchemist
yep.
is a good example.
I never watched
Death
it.
Note is a very good example.
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho
I don't know what I watched Death Note in. It's been so long. I probably watched it in both, to be honest.
show is a
I don't
very good
know.
example. Hunter x Hunter to
No, I watched some of it in dub actually. I remember the last scene for like it was in dub. It was okay, but certain things are okay in dub. But that's because the people who wrote it or said the lines were just that good.
a degree is a good example. There is a lot of shows that I have watched, Japanese dub and sub, and have legitimately enjoyed back to back. And so there is obviously sometimes, you can enjoy both.
Seven Deadly
But
Sins
this is
that's
obviously
on
not
right
one of
now.
those cases. I think that
Definitely
the
watched
dub
it
of
in dub
Oshinoko is
and sub.
legitimately terrible. And let me explain here. I don't think that
I feel like he's gonna say the same thing I just said, where it's not giving the same emotions. For a scene that's so big like this, it's not giving the same vibes.
the VAs are necessarily terrible voice actors.
Right,
I want to make sure I kind of
right. It's no hate to the actual voice actor. It's just they put the person in the wrong type of scene and environment, and I don't like
separate
that.
the two
Nope.
before I go any further, because I feel like people are instantly going to assume that I am talking about the VAs, that I'm saying the VAs are terrible. I'm not.
Right.
I'm just saying in terms of the dub, it's not good. And there's always room for criticism. For
I think he meant to say in terms. I think he meant to say in terms of the sub instead of dub. Actually, it would make more sense.
Given criticism, I think it's fair and it should definitely be done. And so, like I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I do think that the dub is legitimately terrible. However, I do think that the VAs probably have something else going on behind the scenes.
Right, like I feel like it was probably I won't say pressure. They weren't sitting there with a fucking gun on their head, right? Not like that. But no, they probably they just maybe didn't have enough time to get the perfect person for the specific scene or anything. I don't know really, but
Is that we're probably completely unaware of. I think in terms of directing, if we're like really taking a hard look at like this clip and all that, and really just thinking about what this scene is supposed to represent.
right, see, that's why I watch Chibi. Exactly, that's exactly why I watch it, because the scene was so big and it was supposed to mean so much that it can't be played the way it was played in dub, at least.
In the anime, in the series, it's supposed to be the transition of Akane into, Ai. And the very voice and tone is supposed to reflect that. And I think anyone that obviously watched the Japanese version of this can agree that it was legitimately scary, the actual shift in voice.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. It sounded like she was literally I. Like it wasn't just her playing it. She was becoming I. It was scary. I still get goosebumps thinking about it even now. Oh my god. Oh my god.
From regular Akane to actually having like I right there in front of Aqua. It was actually a very impressive moment for the series and for VA work. I was really just stunned. And I think everybody that watched this in Japanese could agree it was a very stunning moment, because if you didn't know any better, you would assume Ai's VA came back to voice.
Wait, I thought it was. I would not be surprised if the actual voice actor like was Kane or whatever, and or was just in that specific line.
This very moment, but it actually was Akane's voice actor that did this moment.
Okay.
So that's what just makes this incredible.
Yeah.
It's a very impressive display of talent and skill from the VA for the Japanese dub. So when we get into the actual dub, the English dub version, and you hear Akane's voice basically not change whatsoever, but it gets a little bit louder.
Didn't she sound like a fucking volley girl? Like the generic pick me. Nah, I don't like that.
Obviously, there's going to be those that are going to say this is terrible. And like I said, I do agree that it is terrible.
Yeah,
but is it necessarily the VA's fault? Because
No.
at the end of the day, there's so much behind the scenes that we're unaware of. For instance, we have seen it just with Oshi no Ko. It's kind of dived into it. That when it comes to voice acting, it really does come down to also the team. It comes down to the audio director or the people directing the overall, It
was a bad time, bad place. Maybe the person was, I feel like if the scene was for a different girl in a different setting in a different anime, it wouldn't even be bad. Nobody would even bat an eye at it. But for this specific type scene and situation, nah, nope.
Project, there's a lot of things that's not necessarily up to the VA, because obviously the people behind the scenes with the product, they're supposed to lead like certain people to do what they want, like, oh, you need to change your tone here, you need to do so and so like this, etc.
Right. I mean, look at the dude that does Meliodas. My dude is the exact same every single time, but it's okay because of the type characters that he plays.
There's a lot of things behind the scenes that could happen that we're never going to know. We're never going to know the full story to it because it's never going to be revealed. But I don't think necessarily the VAs for, Oshi no Ko is actually terrible. And I want to kind of talk about this topic first. The VAs are
if you don't like Oshinoko dub, that's totally cool. Nobody's obligated to enjoy your work, enjoy our work. What's not cool is tagging me. Yeah, see, now at that point you're just being toxic. Like that, you're just being toxic. It'd be different if they just like totally fumbled the bag and destroyed the voice itself and had the wrong emotion. That's one thing, but you just being put in the wrong place and time by the director or whatever. Nah, that's a whole different story. You can't even control that. Most likely, I would assume. So relax. Like, just don't watch it. You can just watch this up like everybody else. You waited for it anyway. You can read a little bit. It's not that serious.
Apparently been under fire for the last 12 to 24 hours ever since the discussion of that dub v sub came out yesterday. And
I didn't know Key was Aqua. Interesting. I wonder if he's on Threads. I'm totally about to search him.
I'm just gonna say,
curious. Jack,
you're okay to criticize,
Stansbury.
but going out of your way to tag voice actors,
Yeah, that's just weird. That's too much. That's way too much.
Hate on them, like send just unwarranted hate to them, is legitimately disgusting.
Jack,
and once again, it just goes along with the very theme of Oshinoko. It's just it's crazy to me. Like, this is a series.
Someone
Literally,
took
this
his
arc
name.
with Akane, her very character for this moment is to showcase the toxicity of the online space, to not be toxic, not do all this harsh stuff.
Yeah, I feel like if you're not an actual fan if you're doing this. Like, you're quite literally just someone that's solid. Everybody was talking about it. Your friend watch it. Your friend at school watch it. Whatever. You just watched it and then you just being a toxic little shit. You're literally doing the same thing, bro. She literally almost killed herself for the same thing you're doing right now. Most likely, not most likely, but you are doing right now. That's just dumb. No.
Obviously, people don't actually apparently have reading comprehension to understand the very stories that they're trying to defend.
Yeah,
because attacking VAs is literally doing the very thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Bro, he know. He took the words out of my mouth. It was not pre-watched either.
And, like, to tag, like, these VAs that's working on Oshinoko and send them hate is legitimately disgusting. This is not okay. You shouldn't do that. This is foul. And it's just, like, I don't condone any of this. Like, anyone that does that and they straight up attack these VAs, disgusting. That is legit disgust. And I'm going to be honest here. I think that if you look at the track record of who they voiced, etc., like, for instance, the voice actor of Akane, they voiced, Millium from Tower Fantasy. They've, voiced, or not Tower Fantasy, Millium.
Oh, that's the demon girl. Millium's the demon lord girl. That time, that's the demon girl. Yeah, her voice actor is freaking perfect. Like, yeah, she's perfect. So I was like, it was just wrong character, wrong scene, maybe, whatever. Yeah,
from Slime Isekai. I don't know why I said Tower Fantasy. Shiro from Tower Fantasy. Millium from Slime Isekai. Millium is legitimately a good voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I actually have watched Slime Isekai in English, and I do.
Guess what? I'm gonna assume that all these people behind her is her. Okay, so I legit watched like all of these. She's the girl from Dr. Stone. Okay. I watched Made in Abyss. Just watched it. She was a good ass voice for Made in Abyss. Yeah. I like that one. I didn't watch the other anime to be honest, but yeah, I didn't watch the other ones. But still, she's the girl from Classroom Elite too. I mean, Assassination Classroom. I'm so sorry. And the girl in Attack on Titan.
Enjoy.
Okay. She got that record.
I think Millium is good. I think there's a really good level of detail there. So I think that, once again, it just comes down to the directing and the way the product was produced on why sometimes things can actually look necessarily terrible or sound terrible. But I'm not trying to defend the dub by any means. I am still on that side of I think the dub is terrible. But once again, I think you're going a step too far when you attack a VA. Like, when you're going that far. I think it's legitimately disgusting. Now, I do want to clarify that no hate to Einkrad News here, by the way. He's a good friend of mine. He was just bringing up a topic of debate. Honestly, I would have done the same. I would have done the exact same type of post. I don't think...
Yeah, I feel like the one bad thing is that this dude's probably just posting it for his little news channel, but then someone else will see this and take it and actually be really serious about the dub sucked. Let's attack them. They never should make it work like that. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. Who cares at the end of the day? Just watch what you like to watch. Don't hate nobody else.
I think bringing this up and talking about sub v dub is necessarily a bad thing because, like I said, criticism is fine. There's stuff for all that. There was nothing, mean about this post. But obviously, people from, this post and then other people that's post.
Yeah, the comment, the literal, second comment says, this is actually just one of the worst dubs ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on now, relax. There's definitely been worse.
It's led to, these VAs being attacked. So just, It's just, yeah. What a world we live in. But I wanted to talk about, the dub is
Hypocritical.
terrible, but don't do this. Like,
Hypocritical.
don't attack the VAs. Like that's crazy. That's cringe.
Yeah, that's just that. Oh, shit, I'm opening random things. That's dumb as hell. Yeah, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know.